Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatammirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanyam Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadhamunyam Dadati Swapadantika Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Gudapata Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadudam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrinda Vaneshwari Rishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripte Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhye Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Srimad Bhagavad Gita Bhakti Shastri chapter number 2. We are continuing with the second chapter. Okay. So where did we leave the last? Somebody recollect? Where did we?
2.38, Prabhuji.
0.38. Fine. Quick recap of what is in second chapter. Can somebody tell me what is in second chapter? What is it in second chapter till the sloka? Quickly.
So Lord Shri Krishna starts to give his his wisdom to Arjuna and dispels all his doubts for why he should not fight. And the first instruction he gives is that we are Atma, and he's not killing the Atma, he's just killing their he's just killing their bodies which has done adharma.
Okay, good, nice. Okay, then
he also takes the approach to surrender, and
yes.
And there's a lot of definition about soul, what is soul and all that. So that's in the second chapter.
Okay. Okay, anybody else?
Well, Lord Krishna started answering all his questions in the chapter 1 and in the chapter 2, beginning of the chapter 2, one by one. Like compassion, happiness, sin, all those things. So he is giving the counter answer for all the questions raised by the Arjuna. And he is saying that you should perform your duty. Not performing duty also is a sin. Sort of.
Okay, very nice. Okay. So when we say second chapter's first portion is all about, as Prabhuji mentioned, all about Arjuna's surrender. So he still had some questions. He puts forth all kind of long last results. I mean, reason not to fight, and then he surrendered. So first part of second chapter is surrender by Arjuna, and then Krishna takes over as the Acharya, as the Guru, and then he starts giving the knowledge. So that is the first portion. Then we immediately the second portion is all about understanding who you are. What is meant by Jivatma? We are not identified by the body. We are always identified by the Jivatma or the spirit soul inside us. And then the detailed analytical explanation of 20 slokas all about Jivatma. This is the second portion. So immediately after the second portion, Krishna starts talking about importance of performing duty. Right? So importance of performing duty is nothing but the karma kanda, karma portion, karma yoga portion, where emphasizing very importantly that you have to perform your duty. You cannot escape from your duty. Whatever be it, whether you win or you lose, you are supposed to do your duty. And then as a matter of fact, as every person who is born in this particular material world, they have to perform their duties for dharma as per their varna ashrama. So as per their varna and ashrama, so this is the third portion. And then from here, he talks little bit about importance of sthitadhi, importance of knowledge with what is meant by what is meant by a person who has to be in a very controlled state, in a dhira state. So that is one portion. And finally, the last is all about bhakti. So the entire Bhagavad second chapter is divided into Arjuna's surrender, number 1. Number 2 is Atma Sakshakaram, or the identification, understanding about the Jivatma. Number 3 is performance of duty. Number 4 is all about Sthitadhi, or the person who is in a very steady state with intelligence, with knowledge. And number 5, last is all about bhakti. So in total, when we say Bhagavad Gita second chapter of the 70 slokas, is divided into these categories. Clear? So that is how it is like. First 10 slokas, 7 to 8 slokas is all about Arjuna. Then from 10, 11 to all the way to 27, 28 is all about Atma. Then a little bit of karma, importance of performance duty, and then the next two sections. Okay, clear? Yes?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So this is what we saw. So dharma samuda chetaha. So he's saying all his compassion, his enjoyment, reaction, everything, he's trying to bring out various kinds of reasons, indecision, totally this one, and then he surrenders. Okay, that is what we saw. And then we saw the importance of all the jivatma. This is again a portion of jnana. Okay, so a portion of jnana yoga is all about understanding who you are, right? So this is a jnana yoga portion. So jnana yoga portion is about from 11th sloka to 30th sloka. So najayatem redeva gadachin nayam bhutva bhavita vanabhuya ajonitya shasvatayam purano nahanyate hanyamane sharire. So this shariram can alone be destroyed. Nahanyate hanyamane. So nahanyate means it cannot be destroyed. So all those different characteristics and the properties have been defined till 30th sloka. Okay, so everything it is he covers everything, the jnana portion of it. Okay, and then from 31 onwards, he's talking about performance duty. So he's saying you will be killed in the battlefield or heavenly realm. Swargadvaram apavritam. Swargadvaram apavritam means when you perform your duty, definitely you will go to Swarga. So that is why Krishna is emphasizing that at least do your duty perfectly. Whatever be the situation, even if this did not happen, at least do your duty. What is your duty? Is to perform Kshatriya dharma. What is Kshatriya dharma? Is to fight. Okay. So either you lose or when you win, you enjoy here. Even if you lose and you die also, you go up. Where do you go? Because you perform your duty perfectly, you will go to Swargadvaram apavritam. Swargadvaram, the heavenly doors will be open for you. Okay. So that is why, like when even in India they say somebody fighting in army, even if they lose their life, they'll say Veera Anjali, like no Veera this one, like which is like kind of very power and very kind of more good than just just fighting and coming back. If somebody dies at the battlefield, it is considered more because they will definitely achieve a better position. Okay, so that is what Krishna is saying. Okay, so if you run back, if you go back, if you don't do your duty, that is more problem. That will give you more of pain. That will give you of all things. So you have to perform your duty. Okay. So this is the sloka. Swargadvaram apavritam. So Krishna is trying to bring out all those specific pointers told by Arjuna that I will not do. I'll get incur sin. So Krishna is saying you will incur sin only if you don't fight. Okay. So that is the. Okay, because it is a negligence of your duty. So negligence of duty is more sinful than performing a duty and failing the duty. So that is why even in Krishna consciousness in our life also, you perform your duty. Even it is failure, it is not your problem. It might be so many other problems, so many other factors. But performance of duty, if you miss it, that is your problem. Clear? So that is where even in normal day-to-day life, practically, when we say you study, you do this, it is because you're supposed to do that. What is the outcome is not in your complete hands. Okay, so that is what is the point. Okay. So this is all we saw, and then both ways you have to fight. Okay, that is where the Kshatriya dharma is. This is the conclusion of the Krishna. Now he will get into the he'll focus on bringing out the karma kanda portion, or the portion in which what is the importance of the Veda that provides at the initial stage. Okay, so at the initial stage, all the Vedas goal and achievement is to perform karma. Okay, so that is why Vedas has got a longer or a deeper understanding of the knowledge to understand the goal of life is Krishna. But however, Vedas also provide at an outer level, at a level where it is able to fulfill all the desires of all the people, is called the karma kanda portion. So what is karma kanda? Is like where everybody can perform all kind of sacrifices, all kind of activities to do some kind of a yajna, some kind of a tapasya, so to do some kind of a yajna, tapasya and dhana, and then they will fulfill their sense gratification, they will be able to get. So that is why Vedas initially at a broader level is common for everybody, so that anybody and everybody can accept Vedas. But slowly, once they accept Vedas and go a little more detailed understanding, what is the purpose, what is the goal, what is the actual understanding goal, then they will realize Krishna. Then the purpose of Vedas will be understood. Clear? So that is why the Vedas provide a window to reach Krishna. Vedas provide a gateway to achieve Krishna. Okay, but for all others who wants to initially, even for us also, right? When we want to do some, when we want to get some understanding about what we have to perform, we follow Vedas, we follow some yajna, some kind of tapasya activity, and then get whatever we want, right? So that is fine. But beyond that is more important. Okay, so that is where we need to get into. Okay, so let's get into the sloka portion. So we start with 30. 40.
39.
39.
39.
Yeah, we can start with 39. Okay, so we can start 39. We can start.
Eshate bihita sankhye buddhiryoge tva imam shrinu buddhya yukta yaya partha karma bandhan prahasyasi. Thus far, I have described this knowledge to you through analytical study. Now listen as I explain it in terms of working without fruitive results. O son of Partha, when you act in such knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of works. According to the Nirukti or the Vedic dictionary, Sankhya means that which describes things in detail. And Sankhya refers to that philosophy which describes the real nature of the soul. And yoga involves controlling the senses. Arjuna's proposal not to fight was based on sense gratification. Forgetting his prime duty, he wanted to cease fighting because he thought that by not killing his relatives and kinsmen, he would be happier than by enjoying the kingdom after conquering his cousins and brothers, the sons of Dhritarashtra. In both ways, the basic principles were for sense gratification. Happiness derived from conquering them and happiness derived by seeing kinsmen alive are both on the basis of personal sense gratification. Even at a sacrifice of wisdom and duty. Krishna therefore wanted to explain to Arjuna that by killing the body of his grandfather, he would not be killing the soul proper. And he explained that all individual persons, including the Lord himself, are eternal individuals. They were individuals in the past, they are individuals in the present, and they will continue to remain individuals in the future. Because all of us are individual souls eternally. We simply change our bodily dress in different manners, but actually we keep our individuality even after liberation from the bondage of material dress. An analytical study of the soul and the body has been graphically explained by Lord Krishna. And this descriptive knowledge of the soul and the body from different angles of vision has been described here as Sankhya in terms of the Nirukti dictionary. This Sankhya has nothing to do with the Sankhya philosophy of the atheist Kapila. Long before the impostor Kapila's Sankhya, the Sankhya philosophy was expounded in the Srimad Bhagavatam by the true Lord Kapila, the incarnation of Lord Krishna, who explained it to his mother Devahuti. It is clearly explained by him that the Purusha or the Supreme Lord is active and that he creates by looking over the Prakriti. This is accepted in the Vedas and in the Gita. The description in the Vedas indicated that the Lord glanced over the Prakriti or nature and impregnated it with atomic individual souls. All these individuals are working in the material world for sense gratification, and under the spell of material energy, they are thinking of being enjoyers. This mentality is dragged to the last point of liberation when the living entity wants to become one with the Lord. This is the last snare of Maya or sense gratificatory illusion. And it is only after many, many births of such sense gratificatory activities that a great soul surrenders unto Vasudeva, Lord Krishna, thereby fulfilling the search after the ultimate truth.
Okay, Prabhu, just hold
Arjun,
hold
yes.
So some very specific, nice input. This purport is also very nice. This second chapter's purports, please read through line by line. Very nicely brought out by Prabhupada, because Krishna's way of presenting the knowledge is in one way of understanding. Prabhupada's way of presenting knowledge is far, like, like kind of he's like, when Krishna says Patita Pavan, Prabhupada is more, much more, very generous for us to make it understand. Okay. So in a way, very simple way, Krishna is making it, okay, this is the analytical knowledge and this is the way. So that way. But Prabhupada, if you see, is going very detailedly mentioning about what is meant by Sankhya philosophy, what is an analytical study, how do we understand it, what is meant by Nirukti dictionary is from a Sanskrit way, and then what is meant by analytic, like when you say Sankhya Yoga, the word Sankhya Yoga comes from Lord Kapila Dev. In Bhagavatam, we have specifically mentioned by to Mother Devahuti by Lord Kapila Dev. Okay, so that portion is also mentioning, and also the importance of understanding the Jivatma as individuals just by the glance of the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Shirodakshaya Vishnu, from Karanodakshaya Vishnu. Like it starts from Karanodakshaya Vishnu, and then all the way it gets into the creation portion, and then the Prakriti, everything is manifested, then getting into it. So all these things are all specifically more from a typical analytical study of understanding. Okay, but most importantly, because of this Prakriti's nature, we are binded, we are held as Maya, enforced on us, that we forget about our original identity. Okay, so that is why it is very important that we come out of that sense gratifying illusion. And the Prabhupada making it very clear, it doesn't happen just like that. After many births, Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanavan. So Bahunam Janmanamante, after many years of being Jnanavan, only that knowledgeable person will be able to get that particular opportunity. Okay, right. Okay, continue. Anybody else, Prabhu? Any Matajis or Prabhujis also? Okay.
Arjuna has already accepted Krishna as his spiritual master by surrendering himself to him. Sisvate am sadi mam tvam pranam. Consequently, Krishna will now tell him about the working process in Buddhi Yoga or Karma Yoga. In other words, the practice of devotional service only for the sense gratification of love. This Buddhi Yoga is clearly explained in the chapter 10, verse 10, as being direct communion with the Lord, who is sitting in the Paramatma in everyone's heart. But such communion does not take place without devotional service. One is therefore situated in devotional, transcendental living service to the Lord, or in other words, in Krishna consciousness, attains on this stage of Buddhi Yoga by the special grace of the Lord. The Lord says, therefore, that only to those who are always engaged in devotional service, out of transcendental love, does he award the pure knowledge of devotion in love. In that way, the devotee can reach him easily in the ever blissful kingdom of God. Thus, the Buddhi Yoga mentioned in this verse is the devotional service of the Lord. And the word Sankhya mentioned herein has nothing to do with the atheistic Sankhya Yoga enunciated by the imposter Kapila. One should not therefore misunderstand that the Sankhya Yoga mentioned herein has any connection with the atheistic Sankhya. Nor did that philosophy have any influence during that time, nor would the Lord Krishna care to mention such godless philosophical speculation. Real Sankhya philosophy is described by Lord Kapila in Srimad Bhagavatam, but even that Sankhya has nothing to do with the current topic here. Here, Sankhya means analytical description of the body and the soul. Lord Krishna made an analytical description of the soul just to bring Arjuna to the point of Buddhi Yoga or Bhakti Yoga. Therefore, Lord Krishna's Sankhya and Lord Kapila's Sankhya, as described in the Bhagavatam, are one and the same. They are Bhakti Yoga. They are all called Bhakti Yoga. They are all Bhakti Yoga. Lord Krishna, therefore, that only the less intelligent class of men make a distinction between Sankhya Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. Sankhya Yoga, Krita, Bala, Pravadanti, Na Padita. Pandita. Of course, atheistic Sankhya Yoga has nothing to do with Bhakti Yoga, yet the unintelligent claim that the atheistic Sankhya Yoga is referred to in the Bhagavad Gita. One should therefore understand that Bhakti Yoga means to work in Krishna consciousness, in the full bliss and knowledge of devotional service. One who works for the satisfaction of the Lord only, however difficult such work be, is working under the principles of Bhakti Yoga and finds himself always in transcendental bliss. By such transcendental engagement, one achieves all transcendental understanding automatically by the grace of God. And thus his liberation is complete in itself without his making extraneous endeavors to acquire knowledge. There's much difference between work in Krishna consciousness and work for fruitive results, especially in the matter of sense gratification, for achieving results in terms of family or material happiness. Buddhi yoga is therefore the transcendental quality of the work that we perform.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Very nice purport. So, what is it? Buddhi yukto yaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi. So, buddhi yukto prahasyasi. What is the difference between karma yoga versus bhakti yoga? Only one simple definition. What is that? Karma yoga and bhakti yoga is also the same. Only difference is buddhi yoga is where, bhakti yoga performed with knowledge is called as buddhi yoga. Okay, so then that culminates into bhakti yoga. So that is why very simply Prabhupada is making it very clear. Perform your duty, perform all the activities, you continue to do your karma, but with little buddhi, with little knowledge. What is that knowledge? Knowledge about yourself, knowledge about the Lord, knowledge about your relationship, and then how do you set up. That's all. So if you get that knowledge portion of and attach that with karma, then it becomes buddhi yoga. That is action in Krishna consciousness. That is what we will see in 5th chapter. Then that will lead to the actual bhakti portion, and then you can do. So that is one understanding. Other understanding Prabhupada is making it is the Sankhya philosophy. Sankhya is nothing but the word Sankhya is analytical study. So wherever you want to fit that analytical study, you can fit accordingly. Like analytical study of Atma, analytical study of devotion service, analytical study of understanding the Supreme Lord. So whatever be it, that word Sankhya can be properly need to be understood. Okay, so that is why Prabhupada making it. There was one person called as, and he himself proclaimed himself as Kapila, and he brought more of materialistic way of performing activity. Like for example, you perform this karma, you will get this benefit. You will get, if you perform this kind of a yoga, you will get. So those kinds of more of sense gratifying activities were identified by that Kapila, and then that also became very popular. Like for example, now Patanjali Yoga is very good when you understand the purpose of the Patanjali Yoga, right? When Patanjali Muni gave this yoga, Dhyana Yoga, across like growing from one Dhyana, Samana, like every step you go, Pranayama, Pratyahara, like that Niyama, like if you go step by step, then finally you have Samadhi, right? But that is the purpose and goal of that is completely different. But however, now what happened? The complete Dhyana Yoga is kind of utilized for all other sense gratification purposes to make your body slim, all kind of other activities, but rather not for the actual goal. Right? Similarly, this yoga, this Sankhya Yoga also was completely misunderstood, misrepresented, and went into different kind of actions. Okay, I will just tell you what is it about in the Bhagavatam. One, I'll just show you the content alone, then we will get into the actual. Okay. So in 3rd chapter, when Lord Kapila, when Kardama Muni leaves the forest, and then Devahuti, Mother Devahuti, just out of her own way of seeing lamp, she knows that her own son is the Supreme Lord. She begins to ask wonderful questions, like how Arjuna asks questions about his current state of mind, what to do. Similarly, Mother Devahuti also was in a very distressed situation. I don't know what to do. My husband has left. What to do now? So Kapila Dev gives specific instructions, very nice instructions. A chapter of 13 chapters. Within the 13 chapters, the entire Bhagavad Gita is also there, like talking about Jivatma, talking about the Lord's creation, talking about Prakriti, everything will come. And then one particular portion focusing on devotion service. The entire analytical study of devotion service also is brought out very nicely. You're able to hear me? Is there any disconnect? No, right?
No, it's clear, Prabhu.
Yeah, I don't know why this is not loading today. We'll continue. We'll come back to this once it loads. Website problem or Okay, let us continue. Let's see if this goes to next. So be very clear what is meant by Sankhya Yoga, what is meant by Karma Yoga, what is meant by Buddhi Yoga. Okay, so Buddhi Yoga is nothing but Karma Yoga with
Knowledge.
what?
Knowledge.
Knowledge. That's all. Karma Yoga with knowledge. Then that will culminate into actual Bhakti Yoga. Okay, so performance of duty with knowledge is very, very essential. So that will lead to the Bhakti portion. Okay, some problem with this website only, I think. There's some problem with the website only. Some other websites are open. Yeah, this is all opening.
Prabhuji, is Buddhi Yoga also, like also called Gyan Yoga, or no? Like Gyan Yoga is
No.
different.
No, Buddhi Yoga is not directly related to Jnana Yoga.
Okay, okay.
So it is more of performance of karma with knowledge. Okay, can somebody read? If you are able to open it, please read the next sloka, 240. Only this particular Veda page is not opening for him.
नेहाभिक्रमनाशोऽस्ति प्रत्यवायो न विद्यते स्वल्पम् अप्यस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयात्. Translation: in this endeavor there is no loss or diminution, and the little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Purport: activity in Krishna consciousness or acting for the benefit of Krishna without expectation of a sense gratification is the highest transcendental quality of work. Even a small beginning of such activity finds no impediment, nor can that small beginning be lost at any stage. Any work begun on the material plane has to be completed, otherwise the whole attempt becomes a failure. But any work begun in the Krishna consciousness has a permanent effect, even though not finished. The performer of such work is therefore not at a loss, even if his work in Krishna consciousness is incomplete. 1% done in Krishna consciousness bears permanent results. So that is the next beginning is from the point of 2%, whereas in material activity without 100% success, there is a no profit. Ajamila performed his duty in some percentage of Krishna consciousness, but the result he enjoyed at the end was 100%. By the grace of Lord, there is a nice verse in this connection in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.17. Tyaktva swadharmam karam bhujam harayat bhajanan apakvodha pateta tato yati yatra भद्रम अभ्युद अमिस्यः किम कोवर्ता अपतो भजनम स्वधर्मतः. If someone gives up his occupational duties and works in Krishna consciousness and then falls down on the account of not completing his work, what loss is there on his part? And what can one gain if one performs his material activities perfectly? Or, as the Christians say, what profit a man if he gain the whole world, yet suffer the loss of his eternal soul? Material activities and their results end with the body, but the work in Krishna consciousness carries a person again to Krishna consciousness, even after the loss of the body. At least one is sure to have chance in the next life of being born again as a human being, either in the family of great cultured Brahmana or in a rich aristocratic family that will give one further chance for the elevation. That is the unique quality of work done in Krishna consciousness.
Thank you, Mataji. So this is also nice sloka. So it is making in this endeavor, swalpamapyasya traya dharmasya trayato mahato bhayat. Okay, swalpamapyasya. So what is there? Even if you do a little bit of activity, little bit advancements, what it will give? It will bring trayato mahato bhayat. Mahato bhayat means it will come out of you. It will protect you like anything. You will come out of the danger. What is that danger? That fear of? What is the type of danger? Generally, when you say dangerous type of fear, what kind of fear in this material world? What are the types of fear?
Fear of death.
Fear of death. Very good. We always have that fear of death.
Birth and death.
Yeah. Fear of death, fear of birth also, fear of old age, fear of disease, fear of anxiety, whatever be it. So, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, all the types of fears can be culminated into 4 categories. Fear of death will be always there. Fear of anxiety, fear of losing youth, fear of losing wealth, fear of losing everything, and fear of having disease. So, all kinds of things. So, if you are able to do neha vikramo nasasti pratyavayo na vidiyate, like there is nothing, there is no loss in this activity. That is why Krishna is making it very clear. You perform your duty with knowledge, you will definitely get some benefit. Whatever be it, there is no loss in it. There is no negativity. There is no minus portion. It is only advancement. Okay, so this is again a marketing way where in which say Krishna is giving you that assurance. Okay. Even if it is not possible in this life, you will definitely able to continue in the next one. Okay, so this is what tektva so dharmam charana aruharer bhajanap. So yatra kva bhadram abhuchamusyan kovartarapto bhajatam swadharma. When you follow that particular thing, definitely you will be able to proceed. Okay, so he is making it more very clear. At least if you will definitely have a better life. Okay, so whatever be it, even if there is a loss, definitely in the next birth you will be born. Like for example, now everybody are getting this Krishna consciousness and doing it is because of their previous karma. Okay, so that is why it is very importantly understood. So this is proper making. That is the unique quality work done in Krishna consciousness. Okay, I think now it is working at least. I think it is very slow, but anyway. So this is the karma. This is the Sankhya Yoga portion. So what is Sankhya Yoga portion? So Devavati's lamentation. And then what is renunciation of Karamdama Muni? So this chapter 25 to 33, near to 8 to 9 chapters is all about Sankhya philosophy. So what is the fundamental, for example, glories of devotion service? Why it is very important to perform devotion service is mentioned. Then fundamental principles of meditation, Prakriti. Even in our Bhagavad Gita, 2 chapters. What are the 2 chapters? Any idea? 2 chapters about Prakriti. I told you in the beginning. Which 2 chapters? 7th and 8th chapter. 7th and 8th chapter. It is all talking about some portion of other chapters also. Even in the 16th chapter, it will be there. But more important, 15th chapter also, a little bit in 17th chapter. But more importantly, 13th chapter also, Prakriti, the very important Prakriti portion also there. But 7th and 8th chapter is very important. So, fundamental principles of material nature, understanding of material nature, devotion service, and then description about the adverse fruitive activities. Very importantly, Kapila Muni talks about karma yoga. Karma, what is the effort of performing this one, and then how it will come out of the thing. Okay, coming out of that is the entanglement in material fruitive activities. How do we come out of that particular fruitive activity? So this is how the Sankhya philosophy is being defined. Very nice sloka. Okay, this is again, I think, memorization version sloka.
Shall I read through?
Yeah, Mataji.
Text pattern. व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिः एकेह कुरुनन्दन बहुशाखा ह्यनन्ताश्च बुद्धयो व्यवसायिनाम्. Translation. Those who are on this path are resolute in purpose, and their aim is one. O beloved child of the Gurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many-branched. Purport. A strong faith that by Krishna consciousness one will be elevated to the highest perfection of life is called Vyavasayatmika, intelligence. The Chaitanya Charitamrut Madhya Leela 22.62 states, Shraddha sabe Vishwasa kahe श्रद्धा निश्चय Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Krutahaya. Faith means unflinching trust in something sublime. When one is engaged in the duties of Krishna consciousness, he need not act in relationship to the material world with obligations to family, traditions, humanity, or nationality. Fruitive activities are the engagements of one's reactions from past good or bad deeds. When one is awake in Krishna consciousness, he need no longer endeavor for good results in his activities. When one is situated in Krishna consciousness, all activities are on the absolute plane, for they are no longer subject to dualities like good and bad. The highest perfection of Krishna consciousness is renunciation of the material conception of life. This state is automatically achieved by progressive Krishna consciousness.
Thank you,
The
Mataji.
resolute purpose
When
of a
somebody
person
to-
in Krishna consciousness. Can I
Mataji,
stop?
Yes, yes, Mataji, stop, Mataji. So
Huh.
the sloka is in one way where Krishna is making it literally. Vyavasayatmika buddhir ekeha kurunandana. So Vyavasayatmika buddhir is what? There is one pointed attention, one pointed focus on performing your karma with knowledge. Okay, so that is one. Okay. With what? Buddhi eka, Vyavasayatmika buddhir ekeha kurunandana. So performance of activity with one pointed attention. Like you use your buddhi to achieve one particular goal. Okay, that is best. But others, what you will do? Bahusaha ki anantascha buddhayo vyavasayam. So others will try all kind of other bahusaka. Bahusaka means they'll try, if you're not doing this, they'll try others, they'll try. So even in our devotion service also, sometimes we try this, that, then finally we end up doing something which is more palatable for us, right? So that is where in which anantascha, ananta means multiple, unlimited, but buddhaya, they are wasting it. They are using, misusing, or they're wasting their intelligence. If somebody is really intelligent in terms of utilizing their knowledge, then they will be having one focus attention. This applies to our material life also, right? Somebody who wants to win a particular marathon, somebody who wants to win a particular game, somebody wants to get certified, somebody wants to get a particular job, somebody wants to learn something, their focus attention will be one pointed. They will never think about anything else, right? Definitely, their buddhi, their knowledge, everything is directed towards that and to achieve that. Similarly, even in our normal spiritual life also, let's focus on one thing. Chanting, yes. So let's focus on that, then you'll get it. So Prabhupada in the translation is making it very clear that one point of attention is nothing but Krishna consciousness. So in a way, he is bringing Krishna consciousness right from the beginning. Right from the beginning, the preaching or the mood or the mission of Prabhupada is to ensure that the Jivatma takes up Krishna consciousness. Somebody reading Bhagavad Gita in the second chapter itself should get convinced that I have to get the knowledge, I have to take up Krishna consciousness. Then only I'll be safe. That is why translation wise, it gives a different interpretation. Purport wise, it is the same interpretation with the flavor of Krishna consciousness. Okay? That is more important. Yeah, somebody else. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah.
The resolute purpose of person in Krishna consciousness based on knowledge. Vasudeva sarvam idam sa mamatam su durbalaha. A person in Krishna consciousness, the rare good soul, who knows perfectly that the Vasudeva or Krishna is root of all manifested causes. As by watering the root of tree, one automatically distributes water to the leaf and branches. So by acting in Krishna consciousness, one can render the highest service to everyone, namely self, family, society, country, humanity, etc. If Krishna is satisfied by one action, then everyone will be satisfied. Service in Krishna consciousness is, however, best practiced under the able guidance of spiritual master who is bona fide representative of Krishna, who knows the nature of the student, who can guide him to act in Krishna consciousness. As such, to be well versed in Krishna consciousness, one has to act firmly and obey to representative of Krishna. One should accept the instructions of bona fide spiritual master has one's mission in life. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur instructs us in famous prayer for the spiritual master as follows. Yasya prasade Bhagavat prasado, Yasya prasade na gati utopi. Jnana
Jaya
sutvam
Tuvam Tasya
tasya
Trisandhyam Vande Guru Shri Charana.
Shivram. By satisfaction of the spiritual master, the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes satisfied. And by not satisfying the spiritual master, there is no chance of being promoted the plane of Krishna consciousness. I should therefore meditate and pray for his mercy 3 times a day and offer my respectful obeisances unto and my spiritual master. The whole process, however, depends on perfect knowledge of the soul behind the conception of the body, not theoretically but practically. When there is no longer chance for sense gratification manifested in fruitive activity, one who is not firmly fixed in mind, diverted by various types of fruitive acts. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So, Prabhupada, what is making it? So, what Krishna is saying, there might be many paths, but one who is focused on one path with knowledge is very good. Okay, that is what Krishna is saying. What Prabhupada is saying, that person has to follow Krishna consciousness. That is what Krishna Prabhupada is saying. Then finally, what he is saying, that knowledge, how you will get? Only if you surrender to a bona fide representative, only if you act firmly and obey the representative of Krishna, you will get knowledge. Okay, that is what Prabhupada is making it very clear. Service in Krishna consciousness, our best practice under the able guidance of somebody who is saying, I'm also performing Krishna consciousness, I'm also chanting for many years, but until otherwise they are able to take shelter at the guidance of a spiritual master, it is very difficult. In a sense, there might be many distractions, there might be many difficulties in their life, which will give them a lot of testing. Okay, but if somebody is able to surrender to the spiritual master, then everything will be taken care by spiritual master. Okay, who is a bona fide spiritual master. That is why we sing this Guru Vandana, right? When we say Guru Ashtakam, Yasa Prasada, Bhagavat Prasada, Yasa Prasada Nagati Kutopi, Dhayans Tuvam Dasya SS3 Sandhyam, Vande Guru, SS3 Sandhyam, 3 times every day, 3 times at least, SS3 Sandhyam, every day, 3 times at least we should remember and then glorify the Acharya and glorify the Supreme Lord. Vande Guru Sri Charanara Vindam. Okay. Whole process depends on perfect knowledge of having that knowledge through a bona fide spiritual master. So very nicely, Prabhupada is making it very clear. So what is Krishna saying? Get the knowledge, perform duty. Prabhupada is saying, get the knowledge, perform duty only through an Acharya. What is that knowledge duty? Is to follow Krishna consciousness.
Shall I read, Prabhu?
Yeah, Ram Prabhu, please.
Text 42 and 43. Yam imam pushpitam vacham pravatanti avipashita vedavada rata partha nanyat ashti vadinaha kamat manaha svarga para janma karma palapratam kriya vishesha bahulam bhogeshwarya katim prati. Translation. Men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation to heavenly planets, resultant good birth, power, and so forth. Being desirous of sense gratification and opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this. Purport. People in general are not very intelligent, and due to their ignorance, they are most attached to the fruitive activities recommended in the Karma Kanda portion of the Vedas. They do not want anything more than sense gratifactory proposals for enjoying life in heaven, where wine and women are available and material opulence is very common. In the Vedas, many sacrifices are recommended for elevation to the heavenly planets, especially the Jyotistoma sacrifice. In fact, it is stated that anyone desiring elevation to heavenly planets must perform these sacrifices. And men with a poor fund of knowledge think that this is the whole purpose of Vedic wisdom. It is very difficult for such inexperienced persons to be situated in the determine the action of Krishna consciousness. As fools are attached to the flowers of poisonous trees without knowing the result of such attractions, unenlightened men are similarly attracted by such heavenly opulence and the sense enjoyment thereof. In the Karma Kanda section of the Vedas, it is said, Apama Swamam Amrita, Aphuma and Akshayan Ha Vai Sadurmasya Yajinaga Shukritam Bhavati. In other words, those who perform the 4 months penances becomes eligible to drink the Somarasa beverages to become immortal and happy forever. Even on this earth, some are very eager to have Somarasa to become strong and fit to enjoy sense gratification. Such persons have no faith in liberation from material bondage, and they are very much attached to the pompous ceremonies of Vedic sacrifices. They are generally sensual and they do not want anything other than the heavenly pleasure of life. It is understood that there are gardens called Nandana Kanana in which there is a good opportunity for association with angelic beautiful women and having a profuse supply of Somarasa wine. Such bodily happiness is certainly sensual. Therefore, there are those who are purely attached to such material temporary happiness as lords of the material world. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So what the Quran is saying, Yamima Pushpitam Vacham Prabhadyanti Avapashitaha Vedavada Ratapata Nanyat Asti Vadina. Astiti Vadina. Astiti Vadina means like for somebody like who is trying to get knowledge, this is like initially when you start learning something, you get a lot of pride and oh yes, I know this. So they will try to perform certain things just at the front level, at the outer level, and then say, oh, this is very good. So Vedas provide those kind of attractive things so that they will be able to perform certain karma kanda activities as per the rules and regulations. So Vedas make them attract, which is fine, which is good. But what happens? Only with that particular thing they are satisfied and they'll say, yeah, I have achieved. I am performing Vedas. I am performing yajnas. I am performing these things. I am very happy. Okay, but beyond that there is something more important. That is why Prabhupada is making very clear, and Krishna is making that also point. So don't get bogged down with at the outer level of knowledge. Like for example, you learn about some concept and then immediately you say, oh, I know everything about it. But you may not really get into the actual purpose of that knowledge and purpose of things, right? So even in normal our Indian language also there is something where we say somebody with full knowledge will be always peaceful, calm, and then composed and this one. Somebody who has got half-baked knowledge will say all pat like no, I know everything, I know this, and then they will try to show off everything. So that is where very importantly we need to understand the purpose of that particular gaining the knowledge. Vedas provide everything, but at the outer level, if you are focused only on elevation to heavenly planets, only good birth, and then some achieving some power or sensual attraction, somarasa, this, that, and all, Bhoga Aishwarya Gatim Prati. Bhoga Aishwarya means you will get Janma Karma Phala Pradhan. Krishna is making it very nicely. Janma Karma Phala Pradhan. So all kind of good birth, lot of nice activity, everything Prada Phalam. Phalam means you get that result. Okay. So, but that is actually waste. That's what Krishna is saying. Okay. Priya Visesha. Everything you will get. Bahulam Bhoga Aishwarya. Bahulam means so much of everything you get. But what is the purpose? There's no purpose to it. The real purpose is completely lost. Okay. Clear? This is all again karma kanda. So Krishna is making it very clear. Don't get into too much of karma kanda portion. Even though you want to perform karma yoga, performing actions again in the understanding of Vedas, but don't get at the outer level. You have to go a little more deeper. Okay. This sloka Bhoga Aishwarya Prasaktanam Taya Aparhata Chetasam. This is also very important. 2 slokas together. Okay. Quickly. Yeah, read.
Prabhu, can I check something? There is 4 months of penances. Is it something really there, or is it something related to the Chaturmasi thing, or is it something different?
Again, the same Chaturmasya only, but many of the kind of different way of Chaturmasya, but they follow more rigid, more kind of very strict ones. For example, what do you say? Dhruva Maharaj also actually did only 4 months, but that is completely beyond our imagination. So generally they term that as 4 months period as one mandala, but it varies between one particular group of yogis and one other set of yogis, or what is it. So generally Chaturmasya is done by the sannyasis. So when sannyasis go travel from one location to another location, they follow certain function, that 4 months period. But yogis and others also will follow certain yogic practice for that mandala, that particular period called 4 months period. Okay. Clear?
Can I read, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you. भोगेश्वर्य प्रसक्तानां तया अपहृता चेष्टसां व्यवसात्मिका बुद्धिः समाधौ न विद्यते. Translation purport by His Divine Grace Prabhupada ki jai. In the minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. Purport. Samadhi means fixed mind. The Vedic dictionary, the Nirukti, says Samyag Adhiyate, Smin Atma Tattva Yatmayam. When the mind is fixed for understanding the self, it is said to be in Samadhi. Samadhi is never possible for persons interested in material sense enjoyment and bewildered by such temporary things. They are more or less condemned by the process of material energy.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
So this sloka is a continuation of the previous sloka. So Bhoga Aishwarya Prasaktanam Taya Aparhata Chetatam. So when somebody is fully engrossed in material sensual enjoyment and Aishwarya and everything, what alone Taya Aparhata Chetasam. They will be completely, Aparhata means completely covered, completely bewildered. What? Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. So in the previous 41st sloka, what is the Vyavasayatmika Buddhi? Resolute in Vyavasaya Buddhi, what is that? Yekeha Kurunandana. Okay, but here Vyavasayatmika Buddhi is completely closed by Bhoga Aishwarya Prasaktanam. So Bhoga Aishwarya means all that Aishwarya, Bhoga, everything that gets. Okay, so what will happen? Samadau na vidiyate. Okay, Sanskrit word vidyate is different, vidiyate is different. Okay, vidyate means achieving knowledge getting, but here it is called as vidiyate. Okay, so na vidiyate. Vidiyate means it will never happen. Okay, so vidiyate means something that should happen. Na vidiyate means it will never happen. Okay, so the little Sanskrit pronunciation we will get confused. That is why it's na vidiyate. It's not na vidyate. Vidyate means vidya means knowledge. So vidiyate means happening or taking place. So here it is not taking place. So what will happen? Because somebody is at that Bhoga Aishwarya level, they will never get that Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. They will be completely in the Aparhata Chetasam. They will be covered. They'll be in the Chetasa or the knowledge or consciousness portion will be completely. So many of these people in this material world, they also study knowledge. They also do a lot of activities. They get everything, but still they are not able to get that particular original understanding because they have this Bhoga Aishwarya Prasaktam. We see so many people, right? They are very knowledgeable in Sanskrit. They are very good in Bhagavad Gita. They have so many other good activities. They are materially very opulent, everything. But still, why they are not coming into Krishna consciousness? It is because of the Bhoga Aishwarya Prasaktam. Because they are bewilderment of mind, and then they have their mind is fully attached. So outwardly they might say, "Oh, I don't have anything. I'm very peaceful, everything." But still, internally, somehow or other, they will be attached to it. Okay, so there is nothing called samadhi for them. Okay, the word samadhi, Prabhupada will talk in detail in the 6th chapter when somebody achieves the highest perfection of samadhi or in the dhyana yoga portion, then he will be able to. Okay, let's continue.
Prabhuji, should I read, Prabhuji?
Poonam Mataji, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nitraigunya Bhavajuna Nirdavando Nitya Sattvasto Niryoga Shema Atmavan Translation: The Vedas deal mainly with the subject of the three modes of material nature. O Arjuna, become transcendental to these three modes. Be free from all dualities and from all anxiety for gain and safety, and be established in the self. Purport: All material activities involve actions and reactions in the three modes of material nature. They are meant for fruitive results which cause bondage in the material world. The Vedas deal mostly with fruitive activities to gradually elevate the general public from the fields to sense gratification to a position on the transcendental plane. Arjuna, as a student and a friend of Lord Krishna, is advised to raise himself to the transcendental position of Vedanta philosophy, where in the beginning there is Brahma Jignasa, or questions on the three supreme transcendences. All the living entities who are in the material world are struggling very hard for existence. For them, the Lord, after creation of the material world, gave the Vedic wisdom advising how to live and get rid of material entanglement. When the activities for sense gratification, namely the Karma Kanda chapter, are finished, then the chance of spiritual realization is offered in the form of Upanishads, which are a part of different Vedas, as the Bhagavad Gita is a part of the fifth Veda, namely the Mahabharata. The Upanishads mark the beginning of transcendental life. As long as the material body exists, there are actions and reactions in the material modes. One has to learn tolerance in the face of dualities such as happiness and distress, or cold and warmth, and by tolerating such dualities, become free from anxiety regarding gain and loss. This transcendental position is achieved in full Krishna consciousness when one is fully dependent on the goodwill of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank
Hare
you. Very
Krishna.
nice. So, very nice line, no? Somebody has to come out of anxieties. This whole world is full of anxieties. Everybody will have their own way of anxiety. Anxiety for children, anxiety for marriage, anxiety for office, anxiety for travel, anxiety for food, anxiety for whatever you name it, some way or other, there will be some anxieties. So, somebody coming out of the anxiety is very, very tough, very, very difficult also, right? So, but that is what is all about following Krishna conscious way, following Krishna's way, following the Acharya's way to get that knowledge. Okay, so this is where from Krishna's point, it is very making it very clear the material modes. So this section, this sloka is all about the 14th chapter and then the 17th chapter, importance of understanding the Traigunya Vishaya Veda. This material world is entangled as is mixture or chemical relation of the three modes. Okay, the entire Prakriti is all about this material reactions of the material modes. So the Vedas also at the initial stage is all about how do you ensure that you are passing through this three phases of the different modes. But what Krishna is saying, Traiganyo Vishaya Veda, Nistraiganyo Bhavarjuna. Nistraiganyo means you come out of it. Nirdvanto Nitya Sattvasto, Nitya Sattvam. You have to come out of that particular, either be the Rajoguna, Tamoguna, Sattvaguna, then Nirdvanto Nitya Sattvasta. You come at a very sattvic, at a very Nitya, eternal, permanent one, pure spiritual one, that Niryoga Kshemam Atmavan. So when you get that, free from idea of gain and production. So what Atmavan? So you will be in the Atmavan state. So what Krishna is saying, please come out of this material entanglement, which means if you start continuously following Vedas, you will be again entangled in this material world. But understand the purpose of Vedas, understand why the Vedas are giving this coming out of the material modes is very, very important. Only if you come out material modes, you will be able to get out that anxiety. So anxiety of gain, anxiety of loss, whatever the dualities, okay, that all the dualities we have already seen. Right? So it is very
So,
important.
Prabhuji, from all the three modes of nature, we have to come out, or Satyug, we have to be there? Satyug is good, na?
Yeah, yeah.
Tamoguna and Sattoguna, Rajoguna is not good. So we have to come out of the two, and we have to be in Satyug, or all from we have to come out from
Yeah,
all the three.
is good. That is called as Shuddha Sattva. The last one is called Shuddha Sattva. Okay, normally first two mode of ignorance, Tamoguna, Rajoguna, and Sattva-guna. But beyond Sattva-guna is something called as the Shuddha Sattva. Shuddha Sattva is beyond the material mode. So even Shuddha Sattva-guna is still part of the material world only, material platform only, but that is okay. At least you try to achieve. This is like 100% distinction pass. Okay, so that is okay.
Okay, Prabhuji.
We try to achieve that. Now getting out of Tamoguna itself is tough, and coming out of Rajogun is much more tougher. Okay, but at least when you try to make an attempt, then Krishna will our Krishna and our
Help us to come out.
yeah, he will help us to come out to that.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So making very clear, as long as the material body exists, there are actions and reactions. So we cannot escape. Prabhupada makes it very clear. We cannot escape this. It's only ways we have to see how we overcome it. How do we see how to tolerate it? How to come out of it? That's all. This is also when one is fully dependent on the goodwill of Krishna. When we have 100% faith on Krishna, then we are in the Suddha Sattva. Until then, we are somehow or other entangled here and there. Sometimes we'll have faith, sometimes we will not have faith. Sometimes faith is very high, sometimes we will forget the faith. All those things will be continuously happening. Okay, that's good. This is all again one more analogy, very nice. So he is finishing off that particular portion of karma kanda portion. Like he started with karma yoga, then the importance of karma yoga, karma kanda. Then, but why karma kanda is not good, because it is still at the lower material platform only. But you have to come out of that karma kanda portion. Okay. Yeah, can read the translation. Somebody can read the translation.
Translation. Is it okay, Prabhu? Can I continue?
Yeah, yavanartha udapani sarvata. Okay, read the sloka also.
Translation. All purposes served by a small well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. Purport. The rituals and sacrifices mentioned in the Karma Kanda division of the Vedic literature are meant to encourage gradual development of self-realization. And the purpose of self-realization is clearly stated in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita 15.15. The purpose of studying the Vedas is to know Lord Krishna, the primeval cause of everything. So self-realization means understanding Krishna in one internal relationship with him. The relationship of the living entities with Krishna is also mentioned in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita 15.7. The living entities are part and parcel of Krishna. Therefore, a revival of Krishna consciousness by the individual living entities is the highest perfectional stage of Vedic knowledge.
Okay,
this is confirmed.
Yeah, once again, Babu. So in the previous sloka, there's one very nice important line I forgot. I will just finish this. So the Vedas deal mostly with fruitive activities that gradually elevate the general public from sense gratification to pushing. So if somebody is asking why Vedas required, yes, Vedas are still required, because until you know the law book, until you know the rules, you will never be able to, you will do your own whimsical ways. At least to follow a certain procedure, you follow the rule book, you follow the legal way. Then you start and read the Veda, and then slowly for you to get satisfied with fruitive activities, you follow Vedas. But what is the purpose? Gradually elevate the general public from a sense of sense gratification to the transcendental plane. What is the transcendental plane? The transcendental plane is above the material modes. Okay, so this line is important from an examination point of view. Also, there is a question which we will be asking: what does the mainly the Vedas deal? Okay, so this portion is very important. So now, continuation to that is what this particular thing. So the ritualistic sacrifices mentioned in Karma Kanda is what meant for gradual development of self-realization. So whatever be that Karma Kanda portion being defined is also again the purpose is to understand the Supreme Lord. Okay, Vedaisya sarver aham eva vidyam. Okay, sarvasya cha aham vidisannivishto matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha Vedaisya sarver aham eva vedya. Vedaisya sarva aham veda means all the culmination of Vedas knowledge, the purpose and the goal of Vedas, aham eva vedya. I am the knower. I should be known. That is the goal of Vedas. Okay, that is what in 15:15 is all about. So as I mentioned, about myself, about Krishna, about the relationship with Krishna. This is the end understanding about knowledge. Okay, so I'll be asking this question every time whenever you ask. What is meant by knowledge? What is meant by knowledge is simply about myself, about the Supreme Lord, the relationship between myself and the Supreme Lord, and how do I achieve that Supreme Lord. That's all. Only 4 things. So how to achieve is all about bhakti yoga, about this one. Understanding about the knowledge, understanding of myself is all about Jnana Yoga, and what kind of actions that I need to perform to understand that is all about Karma Yoga. Simple. That's all. This entire Bhagavad Gita we can summarize in that way. Okay. So this is all about that. So what Prabhupada is making, one must be very intelligent to understand the purpose of without being attached to rituals only. One must not desire to be elevated to the Krishna. So if you start performing Veda's way of working, you get a lot of things, but you should never get attached to that. Okay. By chanting in the holy name of the Lord, by performing certain activities, by performing the actions prescribed in Vedas, we try to achieve the better. Okay. That is the ultimate purpose. Okay. So the best purpose of Vedanta philosophy is by intensively and inoffensively chanting. Okay, inoffensively chanting the holy name of the Lord is the last word of the Vedic wisdom and the author of Vedanta. Okay, so Prabhupada is making it very nicely through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he went to Varanasi, when he met all the Mayavadis philosophers or sannyasis. Everybody had their Vedavada Rata. Vedavada Rata means they can argue Vedavada. They can do a lot of logical dhargam. Dhargam means some kind of an debate or an argument point of view. But finally, everybody got defeated by Mahaprabhu when he was so Amanina, Manidina, Kirtaniya, Sadari. When he was so humble, and then this one, everybody got attracted to. Right? So, and then what is the main? This age of Kali is only performing the Sankirtan Yakya. Okay, so that is the ultimate purpose of Vedic mysticism. Okay. Clear? So this entire section 5.4 to from 38, 39, 40, 41, 45, 46, all about Karma Kanda. Why importance of Veda, but acceptance of Veda, but not getting too much into the Veda philosophy, focusing only on Vyavasaya Atmika Buddhi. But if you focus on anything else, you will get into total waste. So we need to follow Vedas, but with the purpose, understanding what is the purpose. Okay.
So Prabhuji, what is the answer for that? Ki why should we follow Vedas? What did you say? Why should we follow Vedas, or why should we read Vedas and all?
To understand, if we don't follow Vedas, we will never know about who we are. We don't know who about Krishna also. So understand, to get Krishna also, to get the purpose of devotion service also, Vedas are required. Because Vedas, the ultimate goal of Vedas is to achieve Krishna.
So the answer will be to know Krishna and to know how to get Krishna.
Correct.
That's okay, Krishna. Oh, thank you, Prabhuji.
That is what he is saying. Vedesha sarvam aham eva vedya. So sarvasya chaham riti sanivisham atasmriti jnanamapanam cha Vedesha sarvai. Vedesha sarvai. All the understanding of Veda is aham eva vedya. So that is what he is saying. Okay. So this sloka is very nice sloka. You all know about this from Mahabharata, from childhood days. You know this sloka. Everybody can by heart is also okay, right? Karma neva adhikarasya mahapaleshu gadachana ma karma phala heturbud mate sangostva akarmanu. Very nice sloka. So everybody will know this sloka. But the purport has got a lot of specific understanding. We can go through the purport. Okay, yeah. Please read the translation.
Purport, sir. Prabhuji, I am reading. Prabhuji, can I?
Yeah, go on. But you can read the translation.
Yeah. Translation: you have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of the action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. Purport: there are three considerations here: prescribed duties, capricious work, and inaction. Prescribed duties are activities enjoyed in terms of one, acquired modes of material nature. Capricious work means actions without the sanction of the authority, and inaction means not performing one's prescribed duties. The Lord advised that Arjuna not be inactive, but that he perform his prescribed duty without being attached to the results. One who is attached to the result of his work is also the cause of the action. Thus, he is the enjoyer or the sufferer of the results of such action. As far as prescribed duties are concerned, they can be fitted into three subdivisions, namely routine work, emergency work, and desired activities. Routine work performed as an obligation in terms of the scriptural injunction without desire for results in action in the mode of goodness. Work with results becomes the cause of bondage. Therefore, such work is not auspicious. Everyone has his proprietary right in regard to prescribed duties, but should act without attachment to the results. Such disinterested obligatory duties doubtlessly lead one to the path of liberation. Arjuna was therefore advised by the Lord to fight as a matter of duty without attachment to the results. His non-participation in the battle is another side of attachment. Such attachment never leads one to the path of salvation. Any attachment, positive or negative, is cause for bondage. Inaction is sinful. Therefore, fighting as a matter of duty was only auspicious path of salvation for Arjuna. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you. This purport is also very important purport. Please read it again and again. Prabhupada is talking about karma yoga. Very importantly, capricious work, prescribed duties. What is swadharma? What is akarma? And then what is inaction? Like not performing. So when you have to understand the importance of duty, you will have to perform the duty. But at the same time, don't put any wrong activities, akarma activities. At the same time, don't simply escape from your activities. That is called as prescribed duties, capricious work, and inaction. Okay, so that first paragraph is very clear. Now the second paragraph is again from the prescribed duties from your swadharma. It is namely normal routine work, emergency, and desire. So either way, you have to perform your daily. So for example, you are working in an office or a homemaker. You have your routine work. Whatever be it, you have to perform it. You cannot say, I will not do it. And then emergency, sometimes certain things will come, you have to do it. And then desired. So desired activities have to be channelized. Desired activity channelized so that you can perform some nice seva. Like beyond your karma activities, you can do some seva. You can take up some seva in the center. You can do some other activities. You can do some learning, whatever it be. So that will lead you to the mode of goodness. That will ensure that that you are getting in the right direction. Okay. Prabhupada is making it very nicely. I will not do is also kind of an attachment, right? Simply somebody say, oh, I will not do, I will not, because then I will get, so I will get attachment. That itself is an attachment. Okay. So that is why Prabhupada make it very clear. Krishna consciousness is practical way of living, which means we will perform our action, but with that action will be with knowledge, with a sense of not self gratification, but with the knowledge of satisfying Krishna. Okay? That is where we have to make it very clear. We will follow dharma, we will follow Vedas, we will follow all the rules and regulations, but the purpose is completely different. Okay? Therefore, fighting as a matter of duty was the only auspicious way of. So even if you want to get salvation, even if you want to get mukti, you want to get liberation, you have to perform your. So such action never leads to one path of it. So you cannot simply say, oh, I will not participate, I will not do, I will try to. No, that is not this one. Any attachment, both positive or negative, is bondage. And inaction is much more problem. Inaction is much more this which will cause papam, which will be more sinful. Maybe another two more slokas, then we can stop. Okay, it is 47. We'll try to complete till.
Prabhu, sorry, Prabhuji, one question.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, like capricious activity is it's mentioned, it's not sanctioned by the Lord.
Authorities, correct.
Capricious work means actions which without the sanction of authority. So Prabhuji, like there are I was thinking like all the actions are sanctioned, then only it can happen. So how to understand this, Prabhuji?
No. What here it means is, for example, you are supposed to do this particular work as per the authority, means as per the rules and regulations. You have to perform this action in a prescribed way. But if you follow against the prescribed way, then that is against. Here authority means the Vedas or the scriptural injunctions.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay, so that is
so
what
not by Krishna sanctioning it.
No. Here it means with the because this is in continuation with the Vedas, right? Now, if you see through the sloka from the previous 4 or 5 slokas, it is all about following Vedas. So this also is again continuously talking about following the authority. Here means the scriptural injunctions.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Ideally, again, this when we go to the 3rd chapter and 4th chapter and 5th chapter, a more detailed understanding of karma, akarma, and vikarma portions will cover. And within that karma also how it is getting modified, that portion. So this one sloka is kind of a little summary of the karma yoga and Krishna consciousness. But when we go to that chapter, then we will get more details.
Okay.
This is about Dhyana Yoga, okay? Chapter 6. Okay, yeah, let's read.
Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhi asiddha samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Perform your duty equipoised, O Arjuna, abandoning all attachment to success or failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. Krishna tells Arjuna that he should act in yoga. And what is that yoga? Yoga means to concentrate the mind upon the Supreme by controlling the ever-disturbing senses. And who is the Supreme? The Supreme is the Lord. And because he himself is telling Arjuna to fight, Arjuna has nothing to do with the results of the fight. Gain or victory are Krishna's concern. Arjuna is simply advised to act according to the dictation of Krishna. The following of Krishna's dictation is real yoga. And this is practiced in the process called Krishna consciousness. By Krishna consciousness, only one can give up the sense of proprietorship. One has to become the servant of Krishna or the servant of Krishna. That is the right way to discharge duty in Krishna consciousness, which alone can help one to act in yoga. Arjuna is a Kshatriya, and as such, he is participating in the Varnashram Dharma institution. It is said in the Vishnu Puran that in the Varnashram Dharma, the whole aim is to satisfy Vishnu. No one should satisfy himself, as is the rule in the material world. But one should satisfy Krishna. So unless one satisfies Krishna, one cannot correctly observe the principles of Varnashram Dharma. Indirectly, Arjuna was advised to act as Krishna told him. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So again, so this is also yogas to come into that platform of yoga. Okay. So what is meant by yoga? Many words throughout Bhagavad Gita, the word yoga is used everywhere, but with different meanings. Sanskrit, the same yoga, everywhere it will be used in different. Okay. But understanding that main purpose is connection with Krishna, or making sure the mind is controlled, or performing a particular practice again and again. Okay. Yoga means practice in a normal way. Yoga means practice. Yoga means doing the same thing again and again. Yoga means controlling the mind. Yoga means controlling the senses. Yoga means connecting with Krishna. So all those things put together is called as yoga. Okay. So in whatever be, it will be equipoised, it will be kind of fixed, controlling everything together. So that is what Krishna is making. Yoga Sangam Tektva. Sangam Tektva means Tektva means you have to give it out. What is that? Attachment to whatever be it, whatever be the outcome, you don't have to worry. You perform your karma, just leave out the result to Krishna. He will take care of it. Okay. Siddha sadhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Then the word yoga is used 2 times here. Okay. So that is called as equipoised in nature. Okay. Again, this equipoise is a very nice word. You might have never understood or learned this in normal our English grammar or wherever when we study, right? So Prabhupada bringing out certain very wonderful words only in our Krishna conscious literature. For example, transcendental. The word transcendental word you will never be heard anywhere else. Similarly, equipoised. There are nice specific words that are brought out nicely and used here. Arjuna is a Kshatriya. He has to perform as per the Varnashrama Dharma. The whole world's aim is to satisfy Krishna. When we say even yajna, dana, tapasya, whatever we do, finally we say sarvam krishnarpanamastu. So sarvam krishnarpanamastu means everything is for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. Okay. This is also a very nice word. So we use either become servant of Krishna or servant of Krishna. So what our Acharya say, I'm not even qualified to become servant of Krishna. Okay, dasanu.
Can I read, Prabhu?
Yes, Raman.
Durena hi avaram karma buddhi yoga dhananjaya buddha saranam avicca karpana pala evata. O Dhananjaya, keep all the abdominal activities far distant from devotional service, and in that consciousness surrender unto the Lord. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers.
Okay, it's simple. We can skip the part. But what is the main thing? Durena hi, dura means even in normal Indian understanding. Durena means just discard, just throw it away. What is it? Avaram karma, buddhi yoga, dhananjaya. Whatever avaram karma means all this akarma activities or the forbidden activities. So just ensure you don't do any avaram karma. But what do? Buddhi yoga dhananjaya. When you do buddhi yoga, when you do yoga, when you do perform knowledge, when you perform karma yoga with knowledge, what you will get? Buddha charanam anvichaha. You will be able to get that full consciousness. But what are the others? Kripana phala hetavaha. So one who really wanted to gain the entire benefit of whatever their work, they are called kripanaha. Kripanaha means kind of misers, or who are kind of very selfish in their activity. So I perform, it is like, I perform all activity, but finally what I'll do, everything should come to me only. I have to gain, I have to be happy, I have to do this. That is called miserly action. Okay? But what Krishna is saying, buddhi yoga dhananjaya. So perform that buddhi yoga. Then you will get that. Okay. Dure nahi. So three meanings in this sloka. First meaning is dure nahi avaram sharma. Don't do forbidden activities. Avaram, all kind of abomination. Second, perform only buddhi yoga. But if you perform buddhi yoga, that also very importantly, buddha charanam anvicha. Ensure that you don't get attached to the results of it. But if you are attached to it, they are called as kripanaha, phala hetapa. They are all for their own purpose. So perform your duty. Don't do abominable activities. But if you perform your duty also, don't get attached to the results of it. If you're attached to it, then that is more of sense gratification. One sloka, but three different kinds of meanings. That is what Prabhupada is saying. One should spend all energy working in Krishna consciousness. That will make one life successful. Otherwise, like misers, unfortunately, people do not employ the human energy, so they just follow their own way of acting. Okay. Let's finish till 50.
I'm reading. Bhukti yukto jahatiha. Yubi sukra dukshate tasmad yoga yujasva yogi karmasu kausalam. A man engaged in devotional service rids himself of both good and bad reaction even in his life. Therefore strives for yoga, which is art of all work. Purpose. Since the time is immortal, each living entity has accumulated the various reactions of his good and bad work. As such, he is continuously ignorant of his life, real continental position. One's ignorance can be removed by the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, which teaches one to surrender unto Lord Shri Krishna in all respects. We become liberated from chain victimization of action and reaction, birth after birth. Arjuna is therefore advised to act in Krishna consciousness, purifying process of resultant action.
Thank you. So what is the Krishna conscious way? The purificatory process. So only one way that we can come out of this resultant actions, like, you perform something, you gain something, you perform something, you do. So all this Janma, Mritu, Jara, Vyadhi cycle will come out only if you are in Krishna consciousness. Okay. And what Krishna is saying, Buddhi Yukta Jahatihi, Ubade Sukrite, Sukrita Dushkrite, Sukrita Dushkrite. You can come out of the good and bad only if you perform Buddhi Yukta Jahati. So only if you perform Buddhi Yukta, when you perform Buddhi Yoga, which means Krishna consciousness, sorry, Karma Yoga with Krishna consciousness, Karma Yoga with knowledge. Okay, so trying to do it. So you become a yogi, like, even in Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, 5th chapter, Krishna is declaring you become a yogi first. Before you becoming a fully devoted, completely surrendered devotee, become a yogi, which means you need to practice. Every devotee, Prabhupada says, every devotee is a yogi. Okay, he's following certain strict rules and regulations. He's following certain scriptural injunctions. He's following very strict tapasya. So obviously, all the devotees are considered as yogis, but not all the yogis are devotees, because all the yogis will have their own goal, own way of understanding, own way of achievement, everything. Right? So that is very important. Yogi will follow certain procedures, certain practice, certain rituals, certain very hard activities. But performance that for the pleasure of Krishna is more important than anything else.
Prabhu, can I ask? Is that because of that some of the devotees call themselves bhakti yogi?
Yeah. They'll call themselves a bhakti yogi. Yes, they will call themselves.
Thank you, Prabhu.
And many of them will call themselves as Bhakti Yoga Center. This, it is all just because they followed some procedures and practice. That's all. This is all about liberation. I think we can stop here. Then maybe on Saturday we'll continue with this portion. Saturday is Snana Yatra. How many of you are available? Are you having any kind of service or it's okay?
It's okay.
We can have it Saturday 2 to 4. Is it okay?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhu.
Okay, we'll have it
Okay, Prabhu.
Saturday 2 to 4 online itself. Because center will be occupied with all the Snana Yatra activities. So we will have it 2 to 4 online.
Okay, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank
Yeah,
you.
we need to continue with the second
Okay.
chapter. By this month, we are able to finish second chapter, then we will be back on track.
Okay.
No problem.
Sundar Prabhu, we can talk, Prabhu. You want to catch up with certain, whichever missed lessons, you let me know, then we will see how we can.
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavat Gita ki jai.
Jai.
Aad ki jai, aad Guru Vaishnava.
Hare
Sure.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavad.
Hare Krishna.
Wonderful.